our Q&A, and we are on Facebook and TikTok.
And TikTok, yes.
Yeah, so we're on Facebook and TikTok, so you guys have the opportunity to ask us any questions. And we kind of thought, because this month is Breast Cancer Month, that we would bring attention to breast cancer. So if you don't want to be one of those statistics that I talked about yesterday, then you got to figure out how you can change that, right? And the Doc of Detox, we've got the information in it. It's right. This is how things work. There's with them making a breast cancer month. Now you've got all month to think about why you don't want to get breast cancer, or maybe breast cancer. Maybe you had a mom. I had a mom who had breast cancer. Maybe you had an auntie who had breast cancer, and now you're thinking, oh, it's genetic. No, it's not genetic. It's not genetic. And then thinking, oh my gosh, but I've got that gene, that BC something something. I can't remember what it is. There's 2 of them that you can get tested, and if you have that gene, then you're more likely, the medical system says, to get breast cancer. And I heard, I can't remember when, but somebody going and get their breast removed because they had that gene. It's not about genetics. It's about epigenetics. So how are you doing your life? How are you taking care of your body? Are you loving your breasts? Like, there's just so much that you can do. You don't have to walk down that path. How is this guy here connecting to everything? Are you being really careful what you're saying out loud? Because I believe God, the universe, is always saying yes to what I'm voicing, especially out loud.
Yeah, I agree. It's very important to keep that positive mindset and focus on what you want rather than what you don't want. I used to focus on what I don't want, and that's what would keep recurring in my life.
I can second that emotion.
So it wasn't until I was made aware that, and understood how important it is to be aware of your thoughts and how you need to focus on what you want and the good things, and that's what's going to come to you. That's what you think about will attract. So
exactly. And you want to keep the body as high vibrational as you can. So how do you do that? Well, by what you eat, by what you think, by the exercises you're doing,
the
nutraceuticals you're taking.
Yeah.
All these things raise the body's vibration. And of course, you want to detoxify. So if you've been told that you had that stage whatever breast inflammation, then you need to start looking at how are you doing things. How can you help your body detoxify? Because your body is at a state where it's so toxic, it can't deal with that inflammation. So what are you going to do? How are you going to do that? You're going to start doing things that are going to start to detoxify your body on a regular basis that is gentle. You're not going to do like a liver cleanse or
intense cleanses once a month when you can do gentle daily cleansing every day. Exactly. And then you don't have to do those intense cleanses because every day you're taking care of yourself and you're releasing the toxins and just keeping everything moving.
Yeah. And for sure, you want to make sure the large intestine is moving because it is the holy grail to our health. I don't care whether you're a woman or a man, because men can have breast cancer too.
Yes.
And it's popping up more and more. Wonder why. Wonder why. It's got to do with those plastic everything, right? Yeah. They don't want us to have plastic bags when we go to the store, so we have to pay for their other bags. But everything is wrapped in plastic. You go to the grocery store and you pick up anything and it's wrapped in plastic. My carrots are in plastic. Yeah. My organic carrots, they're in plastic. Everything's wrapped in plastic. So are we really helping by, and then we're putting it in a biodegradable bag, which is good, but give me a break. Let's get rid of the plastic. If it's plastic, because we know plastic is not good for us. And it's not good for the environment.
No, not at all.
we're both here in Bonita Springs, and you can see our lovely background here.
Yeah.
The sun is starting to go down. We've got a beautiful sunset to my left here. And yeah, do we have any questions? So, really, what has happened is that large intestine has got those holes drilled into it, and the biggest predator is the fungus. So you want to make sure that you're eating foods that you're chewing properly, so that the time that it takes for things to digest, it's actually digesting in a timely manner, and it's not being held there because your body's churning it and churning it and churning it, and now it's putrefying. And when it's putrefying, you're feeding the bad bacteria, the fungus, and the predators, the parasites. They're all predators. And then you get the leaky large intestine, which everybody else calls leaky gut.
Leaky gut, yeah.
But it is leaky large intestine. So anything that has the opportunity to go through the large intestine also has the opportunity to go down into the pelvic bowl, creating a manure pile. And that manure pile, you're probably thinking, well, how does that affect my breast? Well, guess what? It's a cavity.
Yeah.
It's a cavity.
And breasts are essentially fat sacs. So where more fat cells are, the more toxicity wants to get stored there. So once your pelvis is full, your breast is the next spot it's going to go to. So if you have issues in your breast, we know you have issues in your pelvis.
Yep.
And you need to start cleansing and getting wolf non-surgical work if you have a practitioner near you, because that just helps clear everything and help remove and pull apart the scar tissue, any fibroids or cysts you may have, in combination with our vaginal infusion.
Yeah, and you guys, and actually, it's a good topic because you guys just did the breast today.
Yeah.
In the non-surgical. So, yeah. What else can we say?
It was intense for sure. The breast, a lot of people, when you get into the breast and you're clearing and around the breast tissue, so many people you can't handle that much because they're so sensitive because of all the toxicity from everything we're eating, and then the emotional aspect of things, and it's just all together. So it's very important. People don't realize how important it is to be mindful of what you're eating so that your body is healthy.
And also remember that your body has a specific order that it runs in, and it's not necessarily the order that you're thinking it needs to be done. So I know I talk to people on the phone all day, and they say, oh, I'm doing this, and this, and shouldn't this be gone? Well, are you addressing whether you're in that parasympathetic nervous system, right? Because that's the only place the body heals. So if you're doing absolutely everything else, you got to come back to right here, right now. What's happening right here? How can I change things? How can I bump it up a notch? Because you will never heal if you're in the parasympathetic nervous system. I mean, the sympathetic nervous system. I'm sorry, I might have said that wrong earlier. It's the sympathetic nervous system that you don't want to be in. We got to be more like deer. So I'm walking down a lovely park, and I see a deer, and he's grazing, and I step on a twig, and his ears go up, and he looks, and he says, oh, it's just you. And his ears go back down, and he's grazing again. We don't do that. We don't do that. No. We stress over everything, and then we regurgitate it, right? It's time to let it go. It's in the past, right?
Exactly.
And spend our time right here in the now. It's the only place that we can make changes. You don't have to worry about what happened yesterday or what might happen tomorrow, because today is called the present for a reason, because it is the present. And we need to stay in the present.
And you can create what you want. You create your own future. So what you focus on is what's going to happen. And a year ago is when I started to focus on everything I want to happen. And look, I've been everywhere. I wanted to see the world, and I've seen quite a bit of the world in only 8 months. And it still blows my mind. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. What you bring attention to is what you're gonna receive,
Yeah.
and it works always, every time. So just be careful what you bring your attention to. These little bugs
Yeah.
are out here and loving us.
Yeah.
So have you got any questions, Sarah?
No, there's no questions
No
yet.
questions. Nothing on TikTok.
Oh, how do you know if I have parasites?
You know what? If you eat, you have parasites. It's just they're there. They're everywhere. It's just how toxic is your body? Is your body actually able to get rid of them and crunch them down and not crunch them down, but neutralize them
Yeah.
so that they don't become a problem? What are you doing to be able to detoxify your body? Are you feeding it? Are, like I said earlier, if you're eating good healthy stuff but you're not chewing, well, guess what? Now you're putting big things down into the stomach, and the stomach doesn't have teeth. And it can't break it down. So it's going to churn it and churn it and churn it, and it starts to putrefy. Now you're feeding the bad bacteria, the fungus, and the parasites, and all the other predators.
Yeah, most definitely. And to what you were saying earlier is that when you start to do these things that are good for you, and you're like, oh, why isn't it happening? Why am I not better yet? Well, it takes time. It takes like 2 years. If you've been doing something good for a year, how long were you not doing things good for?
Yeah.
So in that 1 year of you doing things properly and like on track for yourself, it's going to take longer, like at least 2 years, for you to actually get on track and feel good and not have the symptoms that you were having. So it's just about patience, and it's just constantly practicing that patience.
And one step at a time. We don't expect to be making changes 100%. And baby steps in the right direction. That's all you have to keep doing, is keep stepping in that right direction. And if you get a setback, well, guess what? You got another moment. Step in the right direction. Keep moving.
We have a question. How do you work with prolapse? What about bleeding after menopause?
So with prolapse, you'd really want to start, number one, doing the vaginal infusions, and number two, I would be signing myself up to the pelvic restoration and disease prevention. Or if you couldn't sign up for that, maybe you can get a group together and we can come out to you.
Yeah, we most definitely we're happy to travel to you, as long as you can get a group of 4 to 6, 2 or 6 people, up to 6.
And then we're getting prompts from Daryl.
But point is, we are happy to come travel to you.
We are.
Yes.
And we love it when we get to go somewhere else. Coming to Florida, guess what? I got to see the Statue of Liberty. I've never seen it before. Now, I touched down in New York and flew away, so I only saw it, and I took a picture. So I made sure that I shared that with my friends. Actually, I'll post it on Facebook so everybody can see that, yes, indeed, I saw the Statue of Liberty. Yeah. But it's amazing to be able to do this work and actually share the information with people who actually start taking that massive personal action for themselves. And then we get the call saying, oh my gosh, you know what? I did da 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 da, and I'm feeling fantastic. And that's what we want to hear. And for sure, sharing your success stories with us. The more you can talk about it, I mean, maybe you would even want to be doing a real people with Dr. Wolf.
Yeah.
A lot of people are very shy about that and don't want to be doing that. But I encourage you to get out there, because when you can tell your success story, it just makes it real for somebody else who's having the same problems.
Most definitely. If we don't have any more questions, we're gonna hop off, but feel free, if you have any, to just put in the comments. If any of you want to join us in the last course of this year, we are in Bonita Springs, Florida, from October 27th, 28th, and 29th. You can join us here and come check out the course.
We are also doing a lecture on the 24th, and I believe
Yes.
it's going to be live on Facebook, so you can join us that way if you can't join us right in wherever we're doing it.
Yeah.
And there is the course is coming up in Mexico at the beautiful Cala de Mar
in January.
And after that, there's
Cobb, California.
Cobb, California in March. Yeah. And then we're doing the Braveheart Circles. And the first one is going to be Sage and I in Mexico. So you got an opportunity. Come to Mexico, come and see us. If you didn't want to take the whole life coach and the non-surgical, take a smaller class. Take the Braveheart Health and Healing Circle and the pelvic class. Come and join us and come and have fun and learn how to take care of these beautiful bodies. That is so important. You can get more information on these classes at bhnuniversity.com and check out the classes and the master classes. I think that's how it's listed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Definitely check out the library. There's so many amazing tools and strategies in there that you can be practicing at home already to taking these steps to loving yourself and getting yourself better.
And I just want to say one more thing is we have got a scholarship program for the pelvic restoration and disease prevention and the Braveheart Health and Healing Circles. So if you want to take in one of these classes, you go to BHN University and look under scholarship, and you'll be able to fill out a form and let us know which one you're looking at. And whoever's hosting it, they're going to be able to go through all the applicants and pick somebody. Yeah.
Amazing.
So tell us your story. Tell us what's going on and why you should be picked.
Yes. So.
And these little bugs are really biting us right now that the sun has gone down. And we're fresh meat here.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for listening.
Yeah, thank you, everyone.
And like Simran said, if you still had questions, put them in the comments below. We watch the comments and make sure one of us gets responding to them. Thank you so much. And we are love. We are healed. We are Braveheart Nation. And we got this.
Love you guys.
Good night.
Bye.